G'day.
G'day.
Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
Well, we made it. We're up here in Nhulunbuy in Arnhem Land.
Whoa, what a trip.
Oh, what an adventure it's been.
Yeah. 3 days, 2 nights.
Yep.
On the Central Arnhem Land Road.
Yep. And we're here.
Yeah.
So we can't wait to share with you. Got so much to share with you in this video.
Yeah.
We want to talk to you about the permits we got and what we needed to get up here, and the ones you could get which we didn't get, and how to go about getting them. We want to share with you our trip in, what it's been like, including preparing the van for the trip, as well as getting the food ready and what we need to bring up here that we might otherwise struggle with to get when we're in Nhulunbuy. So come and join us as we check out the road in to Nhulunbuy. So there wasn't a lot of preparation we needed to do for the van to get it ready for this trip. We still had the pool noodles on underneath the van protecting the pipes from the Cape York trip. And they've served us well. They worked well on the Udadada track, and so I'm assuming they'll be fine on this trip as well.
We did actually tape up the lower refrigerator vent at one point.
Yeah.
Apart from that, we didn't really do much else, did we?
No,
outside of the van?
No. Now we did fill up both tanks with water, so we carry an extra 200 litres of water with us, which adds a bit of weight. And
we filled up again the 20-litre water in the car. And we bought
what, 15?
15 litres of
15 litres of fresh water, drinking water.
Yeah, from the supermarket.
To take with us.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2 full tanks in the car were plenty for the trip, but what I meant was we didn't have to have any concerns about the amount of water we were using on the way up. And if we did get stuck for some reason, we had some water with us. So we probably carry a bit more glass than others, and in preparation we did need to protect it.
So we have plenty of stubby holders.
We stocked up the freezer with meat.
And the fridge with fresh veggies and fruit.
And things that might be a bit harder to get.
We have learned to secure the fridge.
So when you come up to Arnhem Land, the first permit you need is a transit permit. And what that does, it gives you permission to travel along the Central Arnhem Highway through Arnhem Land. Nothing else, you can't get off the highway anywhere, you just have to go from point A to point B basically. So you leave the Stewart Highway, get on the Central Arnhem Highway and travel out to Nhulunbuy.
That's right.
Doesn't cost anything. You do have to apply for it online, and it takes, I think it took us about a week to come through. They did say, what we did discover was that you need to have your accommodation or where you're going to stay booked, because you actually have to, in the form, you have to tell them where you're staying. How
long you're staying, the dates you're going to be in.
So without that, we couldn't complete the form and wouldn't have been able to apply for it. So it's pretty simple. We rang up, organised our accommodation up here in Nhulunbuy, and then filled in the dates in the form, sent it off, not a problem. And so a week later, our permit come through. No, so easy. Now the next permit that we got was a recreation permit, and what that gives you permission to do, just got distracted by a couple of cockatoos flying past. Beautiful. Anyway, so the recreation permit, that gives you permission to visit particular sites, not communities, but particular sites like Little Bondi Beach and some of the other touristy attractions around the place.
Just be aware that this particular permit doesn't permit you to stay overnight at any of these places.
No, that's a different permit again.
That's a different permit again.
But be aware, this one does actually cost. I can't remember off the top of my head how much it was.
Well, we'll pop it in the video.
And the third permit that we got was a liquor permit. Now, you need a liquor permit to actually, even to be able to travel with alcohol in your vehicle. So without that one, we couldn't even run a few stubbies in the esky without actually breaking the law.
You don't need it to have a drink in a club or a pub or anything like that up here. That's different. It's only if you want to take away.
So just keep in mind, if you do want to travel with alcohol in your car, you'll need one of these liquor permits.
Absolutely. It doesn't cost anything, so you might as well get it, just in case.
It was easy enough to get. So again, through the Northern Land Council, I'll put some links in the bottom of the description here to let you know which sites actually we got our permits from and how you can see for yourself how to get to them. The Central Arnhem Highway is off the Stewart Highway, about 50 kilometres south of Catherine.
Just be aware it's not really marked.
But as soon as you turn, there is a sign that confirms you're on the right road.
And the status of the road. Fortunately for us, it was open.
4-wheel drive.
This section of the road is bitumen, and although single lane, it is in good condition.
Alright, let's get out to Nhulunbuy.
So the first town you come to is Beswick Creek. However, like most communities here in Arnhem Land, Beswick is a closed community and you will need a permit from the Northern Land Council to stop and visit this community.
Might be good to point out here that if you are travelling with alcohol in your vehicle, you're not allowed to take it into any of these communities, even with your Northern Land Council permit. So I've just hit the dirt road, so it's about 65-70 kilometres in from the Stewart Highway where the road turns to dirt. I'm not going to drop the tyres just yet because the road ahead looks in pretty good nick, so if it's fine through to Mainoru, I'll wait and then have a chat there and see what they say about the road going forward, if I need to drop my tyre pressures or not. However, we have put the caravan on, so that's on in the van. The other thing I've done this time is I've put a bit of foam in between the wire door and the main door. Someone said about trying to stop the pressure, because all of the pressure was escaping through this vent here, which is quite large. So they suggested if you put a bit of foam in it, it'll still allow for the air pressure to go through, but it'll actually increase the air pressure coming out of other areas and may reduce the dust getting in. So it'll be interesting to see how this works.
We're here. The red dirt. Oh.
I was wrong. Corrugation's quickly caught up with us.
So one of the things that we learnt from YouTubers called Top of Down Under is how to create positive pressure in the cabin of your car, which helps keep the dust out of your car. So what you do is, rather than having the air recycling in the car, you have it coming in. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but apparently that's what you do. And then you turn your air conditioning up, probably halfway, if not higher. And there was plenty of opportunity to test it out. We decided this is a really, really good opportunity to let our tyres down, Ethel.
Try out the new tyre deflators.
Oh, the new tyre deflators,
Yeah.
that's right. They're a Camp Box, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you find them easy to use?
Well, you can actually, that has a specific tyre pressure written on them, so you can see.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Whereas the other ones you couldn't see.
That's right. The other ones we had were good, but you just couldn't see what they were, and we often found that that when we had to do it was inaccurate. Oh my goodness, look at all the dust already. We've just stopped here just to have a bit of a break, really. Stretch our legs, see how the car's going.
This site is known as Jurassic Park Lookout, and there are magnificent views over the valley.
It seems a popular place for folks to stop here for a bit of a rest, maybe even overnight.
There are no signs for it as you approach the turn-in.
We use Wikicamps as a guide, and it's about 120 kilometres off the Stewart Highway.
As we continued our trip along the highway, the number of termite mounds just seemed to increase.
And so did the dust.
Oh yeah, I wonder how the van's holding up.
Don't you just love these signs? Bull dust ahead.
Well, there's one car that didn't make it.
We did see a few of these cars along the way.
We arrived at the Mainoru store at about 1:30 p.m. Filled up with fuel and checked in for the night.
$2.75 per litre for the fuel.
And during the wet season, the store is closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So if you did need to get fuel, then you'd need to drive another 60 kilometres up the road to Bullman.
The campground here at Mainoru's store is behind the store.
We pulled up at Mainoru General Store, and the campsite here, it's right by the river. It's a beautiful spot. Have a look at this. How nice is that? Anyway, time to check out the van and see how it fared with all the dust. That was pretty dusty roads coming in. Anyway, let's have a look. There's a strip of dust down here that's come in from under the fridge. The hook's come off. That's not looking too bad.
Interestingly smell on that.
Here is just usual 10 amp household power. So we've had to use the amphibian to convert it to be able to run the van off the power points here. So if you come here, you won't be able to get your caravan lead into the power points here. There's also no water hookup here. They do have a tap there, but I got a feeling it's just water straight from the river, so I wouldn't be drinking that or even probably running through my tanks. We got full tanks because we knew we were going to stop tomorrow night somewhere, so we'll probably use a bit of that. They do have showers and toilets here and a washing machine, and there is another amenities block over the other side.
At the back of the store there is a bar where you can buy a cold drink and get a meal. But if you're going to get a meal, you need to order it before you arrive.
Then out here, there's a very nice covered area, just to sit and enjoy the rest after a long drive.
Or head down to the deck overlooking the river. Oh, wow.
Mainoru Station and Store is on land leased from the Northern Land Council and it's used for cattle. The campground's well maintained and watered to keep it nice and green.
A bit of an oasis after the dry and dusty road.
Alright, day 2, we are off now. We're going up to Flat Rock and check that out. It looks like it's about a 3-4 hour drive up there, so we'll see what that's like. We can't get into Nhulunbuy till tomorrow, so we have to spend the night somewhere. After the dust coming in, we taped up the bottom fridge vent to see if that helped.
That was our experiment, and then it was time to hit the road again.
There are road trains that use this road too, and although we didn't pass any, we did notice a couple going by in the evening.
Well, the condition of the road deteriorated between Mainoru and Bullman. Not so much corrugations, but the ruggedness of the road, like a four-wheel drive track, wasn't it, Paul, in places?
Yep, and of course the dust. I'd forgotten to fill up the jerry can with diesel back at Mainoru, so I decided to stop here in Bullman. Otherwise the next place to get fuel is not until Nhulunbuy, 480 kilometres from Mainoru.
The fuel here is pre-purchased by credit card at the pump. So we filled the jerry can and topped up the car. You can also buy snacks and things from the shop here, beside the fuel pump.
The sign warns you that this is a four-wheel drive road, so we just drove to the conditions.
Another 420 kilometres to Nhulunbuy.
Let's do it. So the TPMS has alerted us to the fact that the front passenger tyre has dropped to 23 psi. Now I pulled over, looked at the tyre, and I thought, oh, it doesn't really look like it's dropped down that much. But I checked it with the other gauge, and sure enough, it says it's sitting on 23. But there's nowhere really that I would feel safe actually changing the tyre here. So I'm actually going to be driving a bit further and looking for somewhere that I can pull over and get safely off the side of the road so I can change the tyre.
So I've decided, because there is nowhere really safe to pull up, they're going to quickly just pump up this tyre that has a slow lead. and see if we can get us somewhere a little safer to change the tyre. It's down to 20 now, so we're going to pump it back up to 30. Gives us a bit of time to find somewhere safe to change the tyre.
So driving along, then out of the blue there's this 10-kilometre stretch of bitumen road, a very welcome relief from the corrugations and dust. Apparently they're doing works on the road here to actually try and bitumise more and more of it as time goes by.
Okay, here I am sitting with the tyre, what's it called again?
Tyre pressure monitoring system.
So here I am sitting with the tyre
TPMS.
Here I am sitting with TPMS, which is monitoring the pressure in our tyres, and just to make sure that that front tyre doesn't get too low, so otherwise we're going to be in trouble. So at the moment it's consistently sitting on about 26, which is fine. Obviously it's a very, very slow leak, and we'll just keep an eye on it. We made it through to Flat Rock Creek, and the tyre had dropped to 20 psi. So we were keen to get it off and run with the spare tyre. So we have decided to stop here and change the tyre. That was a necessity. We might have something to eat. Apart from that, we might just have to wait and see whether we stay here the night or whether we move on. Mind you, it's already, what time is it? Oh yeah, it's just almost 2:30, so do need to eat. Might be a little bit too late to move on after that. So there's Paul, there's the water. Not far enough in my opinion. So I've got the broom, I'm going to stand out here and just make sure nothing comes up to eat him. Like a croc.
So here's Wenda. She's got her broom out ready to protect me in case of a croc attack.
You never know, Paul.
Yep, swish him away with your broom.
So it's probably not the most comfortable place to be changing a tyre in the sand, eh Paul?
Could be worse.
Yeah, it could be. You know,
Scaldy hot bitumen.
yeah, it's true. And you know what else? It could be on the side of the Arnhem Highway.
It could be. Yeah. So we've got our tyre situation sorted. We're now set up down here by the water. Beautiful spot down here. However, there is a bit of a negative here. At the moment, they're doing works on the road just up ahead here, about 14 k's. And every half hour, someone comes here, fills up their truck with water, and then drives off. So it's a bit noisy and messy. I must admit, the ground here is very sandy. We're dragging a lot of that stuff in there. Talking to the fella who works up here on one of the jobs up the road, and he was saying that there's a better spot up the top of this hill over here. If I go up there, apparently there's a nice big open flat area that people will often use for camping. So we're going to go and check out the spot up the top there. This is the other spot where we've come up the hill and found this nice big open area up here. Like, there's a whole heap of camp spots up here. This looks alright. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think this looks good. It's a little bit further back from the road. We won't be in the way of the truck. And I think it's a perfect spot for a night.
Flat Rock Creek is literally halfway between Mainoru and Nhulunbuy, so it breaks the drive perfectly.
The spot up the top here is much nicer for an overnight stay.
So we had a very peaceful night here at the Flat Rock Creek camping area. It's a really nice little spot here. Now there's absolutely nothing here, and we were the only ones here last night, so it was dead silent. It was beautiful, other than the bush noise, and yeah, that was about it. There are a few drums up here. I don't know what these are from, but there's a few drums laying around. A It's nice and clean though, which is good. So people are obviously taking their rubbish with them because it does get used a bit, we heard. But yeah, if you're coming through and you want to stop halfway, I can thoroughly recommend this spot. It's got a few what look like sites off to the side, so people have obviously been using them as sites around here. There's a loop, and then you've got these different sites here, like this one where we are, and next to it, and a couple of the others. In the centre here, you've got a fire pit, so looks like a good spot for happy hour. All right, last leg of the trip into Nhulunbuy.
Yeah.
It's just over 200 kilometres, so we're anticipating about, what, 4 hours?
Yeah, probably around 4 hours. Yeah.
Apparently up the road a bit, 14 k's up the road, they're doing some road works, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But we've heard that the road between here and Nhulunbuy is probably as good as it's going to get. So let's see what that's like. During the wet season, this section of the road can become impassable very quickly. We were told, however, that the water here disappears pretty quick as well, and within a couple of hours the water levels are likely to drop again, so that you can get across.
So beginning of day 3, Bob, what's the fuel situation looking like?
Well, we've got about half a tank left in the car.
Right.
We've got the 20 litres of diesel on the back. I don't anticipate we need it. It's just over 200 k, so it should be alright.
Yeah.
We're using about 23.5 litres per 100 k's today.
Right. Okay. This section of the road was in really good condition, and there were a lot of roadworks going on.
Tell you what, these road trains come flying past and they throw up a heck of a lot of dust.
You can barely make out the road ahead. So the last 55 kilometres approximately from Nhulunbuy, that we've hit the worst corrugations yet. We don't know how long they're going to go for. They've been going for about 5 kilometres now. So hopefully they don't last too much longer, eh, Paul?
Hopefully.
Oh.
And then we were back on the bitumen and heading into Nhulunbuy. All up, we'd spent about 13 hours driving the 735 kilometres from Katherine to Nhulunbuy.
And the fuel gauge says we have 100 kilometres left in the tank. Plenty of
Just made it. Well, what an adventure.
And that's just the road in, Paul.
Yeah.
We haven't even started to check out the area yet.
I can't wait to check out East Arnhem Land and see what it has to offer up here.
Me too.
So on the trip up, we did get a bit of damage. Not a lot. The fridge is the thing that copped it the most. But the corrugations shook the fridge so much that the panels have actually broken the surrounds. So we're going to have to get those fixed when we get back again. Apart from that, the van seems to have held together really well. A couple of screws came loose here and there.
Didn't we have to replace something on the door? There was something on the door that we had to replace.
One of the catches that holds the flow wire door and the main door together.
Yeah.
That cracked. I don't know if it was there or if it's just constant use, but that might have been it. Obviously the tyre, we've got to get that fixed. But apart from that,
bit of dust here and there, not too much.
The tape over the bottom vent in the fridge seems to have worked well. It's really minimised any dust coming in.
There was still dust, but there wasn't as much.
No,
was there?
nowhere near it.
Yeah.
So overall, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So hopefully you can come and join us next time as we start to explore this area up here. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye for now.
Bye.